Today's video is about time and how when we invest our time intentionally, we can do more to create a life that we love. So many of us are overwhelmed today trying to do all of the things we think we're supposed to be doing. And I'll come back to that word think. We're exhausted by all of it. We're running around from activity to activity in order to be good, fill in the blank. One of the things that we do here at Love Plus Business is we try to give you the tools, the resources, the stories, and the inspiration to make significant changes and adjustments in your life so that you can be living a life that's more fulfilling, joyful, and happier. What we want to be doing is we're introducing book reviews. These are quick looks at books that we think can create a significant impact for you and breaking them down into actionable information that you can start to implement to make changes for yourself today. And the book that we want to talk about today is 168 Hours. You Have More Time Than You Think. It's by Laura Vanderkam. And while this book was written several years ago, I love it for many reasons. First and foremost, Laura dispels the myths we tell ourselves about how we spend time and actually how much time we have. The second thing I love about this book is the fact that she's interviewing people down the street, experts who are in their industries, but these are not household names. These are people who are living a life they love, creating life experiences that fill them with joy on a day-to-day basis. The third thing that I love so much about Laura's book is that she provides you with actionable information, tools, and resources that you can start to implement and change your life today. And one of the key things is that she helps us change our perception about our time and what we're doing with it. What we're going to focus on in this particular video is of the things you can do today to change your own perception about your time and how you're investing it in your life. Toward the end of Laura's book, she talks about time makeovers, and this is in chapter 9, the hard work of having it all. And in those time makeovers, she asks people to track their time over a week-long period in 15-minute increments. And what she discovers and what they discover is pretty significant. So the first thing we're going to ask you to do is we're going to ask you to track your time. You'll find a link to the Google spreadsheet in the description below. You'll also find an affiliate link in the description below as well. Okay, so getting back to what you can do. So you want to track your time. You want to do that in 15-minute increments. That week is going to give you a really good understanding of what you're doing with your time on a weekly basis. And those weeks add up to months, add up to years. And the things that we're doing on a regular basis are the things that are creating the life experience we have. So if we want to make changes in our life, if we want to make changes in how we're investing our time today, we have to get a really good picture for what it is we're doing with that time right now. And that time tracking exercise is going to help you do that. And the other thing that you're going to do is we're going to ask you a series of questions that you want to consider. Now, these are questions that Laura asks those she takes through the time makeover in her book, but we're going to break them down for you here so you can consider them as you go through your own time makeover. So once you have that week's worth of time and activities, I want you to start to ask yourself the 4 following questions. The first question that we're going to have you ask is this: what did you like most about it? Now, this is a really important question because chances are you are going to find things that you love about what you're doing already today. And you want to celebrate that. You want to acknowledge what you're doing well. The second question you want to ask yourself is, what is it that I would like to be doing more of? So it's going to be really important. You're going to look at your schedule and you're going to say, you know what? I feel like some things are missing. I feel that I'm missing exercise, or I'm missing quality time with my kids, or I'm missing some really good creative thinking time at work. And so you're going to be able to identify the opportunities to make improvements in your schedule. The third question that we want you to ask is, what can I get off my plate? Now, this is a really important question because you may look at your schedule and say, there's absolutely nothing that I can get off my plate. Remember, we want to focus on what are the things that are important to us and how do I bring more of what we love. And that includes looking at your schedule and determining, are there things I don't really love? We often attach expectations to the roles that we play, right? So if I'm the mom, I need to be a homeroom mom for my kids. As the CEO of my business, I feel that I need to be doing A, B, and C. But I want you to really look at those things and consider, Am I the best person to do it? Am I the only person to do it? Now, there are going to be things in your life where you are the very best person to do it. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here are the things that you can offload, that you can let go of. And it's important to consider the fact that when you let go of these things and you offload them and you delegate them to others, you're giving other people an opportunity to grow in their roles, to learn new tasks, to contribute in a new and different way. So that's really important. Now, the fourth question that we want you to ask is, what are you doing too much of? What are you spending too much time on? What you're going to see here are probably your bad habits. You're going to find that you may be spending too much time on Netflix. You may find you're spending too much time on social media or in email or in managing and supporting your team in problem solving. This is going to, again, create wonderful opportunities for you to make significant changes in your schedule. So once you've asked yourself those 4 questions, you're going to also want to categorize the time that you've spent into big buckets. Some of those big buckets for you might include sleeping, exercise, self-care, family time, work time, time for your hobbies. And the reason that that's going to be important is it's going to give you an understanding of where you're putting your time. Think about this as a bank account, right? Where am I investing my time so that I create the life that I'm looking for, so that I achieve the goals that I'm after? So you want to see, am I investing my time in all the right places? So once you've done that, once you've categorized into the big buckets, I want you to let's make this simple, right? You're going to look at this and you might feel so overwhelmed about all the different possibilities, but you just want to focus on one. You want to look at it and you want to consider, where can I create the greatest impact? Is it looking at the things that I want to include more time for? Is it looking at the things that I should be getting off my plate? Or is it looking at the things that I am doing too much of, right? Just pick one of those areas for the next couple of weeks and start to make shifts and adjustments there. Then you can focus on the other areas in subsequent weeks. But it's going to be really important to start small. You've done a really great job of tracking your time, of looking at the data, of seeing what it's telling you about your life, and now it's time to go ahead and start to make changes with that. And the last thing that we want to tell you is, you're in the right place. This is exactly the kind of work that we need to be doing. If we're going to make major changes in our life, if we're going to live a life that we find truly fulfilling, it means being really honest with ourselves about how are we investing that very precious and non-renewable resource, time, and what does it look like and what does it mean? So I challenge you to look at your time, see what it's trying to tell you, and find out where you can start to make really significant adjustments so that you can start to feel really good about the life that you're leading today. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like what we're doing here, give us a thumbs up. If you love what we're doing at Love Plus Business, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And just remember, we have included those links that you need in the description below. Track your time, see what it's telling you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.